seeks to constitutionally enshrine the Ooni of Ife and the Sultan of Sokoto as permanent co-chairmen of the Nigerian Council of Traditional Rulers. It represents a blatant attempt to institutionalize supremacy where none exists. The Benin people, anchored in centuries of cultural pride and historical sovereignty, vehemently reject any move that seeks to subordinate the imperial and highly revered throne of the Oba of Benin to any other traditional or religious authority under the guise of national unity or representational balance.
By caliphate, there were kingdoms that were never conquered by the Sokoto Caliphate. Borgu was not conquered. Borodun was not conquered. Arugugu was not conquered. Part of Junku land was not conquered. Tifi land was not conquered. We can go on and on and on and on and on. Yes, today, I don't know what happened. The chief of Borgu in Nigeria has accepted to join the caliphate. Even Suleja,
Nigerian government, to be fair to you, to do you well. Why do you think it was installed in the first place? Why do you think Benin Empire was destroyed in the first place? Why do you think power was taken from our monarch in the first place? I'm not here to protest. If he passed my Oba, I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody. So what I'm here to understand, however, is the criteria for which they are doing what they are doing. What are the criteria by which they chose these two individuals, the Sultan of Sokoto and the Ooni of Ife?
Israelites, children of Fundi, and the guard. I don't blame them if they have had a custodian under the monarchy system. They will not be mesmerizing. I will not say my name is Obi. They say you are Igbo, whereas Obi is a different meaning in my own dialect from their dialect. It's a shame, but I'm coming. They met, like I said, people like Nana of Ishekiri. They didn't see Olu of Ishekiri. I have to tell you this truth. They met Obongo, Abi Obongo of Obongo. Pardon me if I don't pronounce it well. Obongo of Calabar. These thrones are there. The Oba of Benin are there. The Nana of Ishekiri is there. The Ato of Egala is there. The Ochidoma is there. And of course, I give it to Jaja of Opobo. He was there. And this throne will become subservient to Hausa and Yoruba throne. Was the Ooni of Ife actually commanding or has the prerogative to talk to the Oba of Benin? I'm not talking about this Oba of Benin. In the earliest history of our people, when there is a throne for the Ooni of Ife and when there is a throne for the Oba of Benin, do you think the Ooni of Ife can dictate for the Oba of Benin? When I forget all those history when they talk.
Thanks for clicking on this channel. Please subscribe to FO's blog history and click on the notification button so that whenever we upload a new video you will be notified. Benins and others reject Sultan of Sokoto and Ooni of Ife as co-chairman of the proposed National Traditional Rulers Council. The National Council for Traditional Rulers of Nigeria, Establishment, Bill, 2024, currently before the Senate, sponsored by Simon Bako Lalong, Plateau South, passed its second reading in March 2025, and is now under consideration by the Senate Committee on Establishment and Public Service. The bill seeks to make the Ooni of Ife and the Sultan of Sokoto exclusive co-chairmen of traditional rulers in the country. In this report, some Nigerians scolded the upper legislative chamber over the bill and asked that it should be jettisoned. According to the Benin Socio-Cultural Group, Agba Kaido has rejected the provision in the ongoing bill in the National Assembly trying to establish the Nigerian Council of Traditional Rulers that suggests the Ooni of Ife and the Sultan of Sokoto as permanent co-chairmen of the proposed bill. Rather, the group demanded that the position be made non-permanent and rotational among the first-class traditional rulers in the country. Reading a statement signed by its chairman and secretary, Professor Sam Gobadia and Dr. Andrew Oseratin Isker, Gobadia said such a plan was to undermine or diminish the authority of the Oba of Benin and the history of the kingdom, which existed centuries before the advent of colonialists and when several other kingdoms were either non-existent or in obscurity. He said, "We find it highly inappropriate to perpetually subjugate the Oba of Benin by way of an illogical constitutional enactment. This ill-conceived and historically unjustifiable proposal is not only logically flawed but also provocative, divisive, and culturally offensive. It represents a blatant attempt to institutionalize supremacy where none exists, and to exploit past protocols of convenience wherein certain decisions are made and certain actions taken for the sake of political expediency. The Benin people, anchored in centuries of cultural pride and historical sovereignty, vehemently reject any move that seeks to subordinate the imperial and highly revered throne of the Oba of Benin to any other traditional or religious authority under the guise of national unity or representational balance. While the Oba of Benin is currently categorized among the highest-ranking traditional rulers in Nigeria, it is absolutely unacceptable indeed, an affront to justice and history to diminish his stature through such unwarranted and biased constitutional manipulation. The Oba of Benin was not merely a king, but an emperor with vast dominions, extending across present-day Edo, Delta, parts of Ondo, Lagos, and into present-day Benin Republic. Northwards, the influence of the Oba reached beyond Essenland and Afamai territories to the foothills of the Kukuroku Mountains. At that time, many of the kingdoms now elevated in public discourse were either non-existent or mere village clusters, without the sophistication or authority that the Benin monarchy wielded, the group disclosed. The group said the bill was it is very obvious that in arriving at the conclusion that only the Uni of Ife and the Sultan of Sokoto should be permanent co-chairmen, ostensibly to represent the geopolitical north and south regions, historical, territorial, and cultural pedigree in determining leadership within the Council of Traditional Rulers, were not taken into account. The group demanded immediate withdrawal of the proposed bill in its entirety or make the position non-permanent and rotational amongst the first-class traditional rulers. Please watch the video.
Ogbakaido, speaking on behalf of the revered and culturally conscious people of Benin, hereby express in the strongest terms their deep-seated disapproval and profound indignation at the widely circulated reports of a proposed bill before the National Assembly. This bill, according to credible sources, seeks to constitutionally enshrine the Ooni of Ife and the Sultan of Sokoto as permanent co-chairmen of the Nigerian Council of Traditional Rulers. It represents a blatant attempt to institutionalize supremacy where none exists. The Benin people, anchored in centuries of cultural pride and historical sovereignty, vehemently reject any move that seeks to subordinate the imperial and highly revered throne of the Oba of Benin to any other traditional or religious authority under the guise of national unity or representational balance. While the Oba of Benin is currently categorized among the highest-ranking traditional rulers in Nigeria, it is absolutely unacceptable, indeed an affront to justice and history, to diminish his stature through unwarranted and biased constitutional manipulation. This bill, therefore, appears to be politically motivated assault on the delicate balance and mutual respect that currently define inter-traditional relations in Nigeria. Accordingly, we demand 1. The immediate withdrawal of the proposed bill in its entirety, or 2. Make the position non-permanent and rotational amongst the first-class traditional rulers in Nigeria.
Asari Dokunbo is extremely angry over the National Traditional Rulers Council. He started with the National Assembly. He said the National Assembly is going out of its way to trample on the fundamental rights of the ethnic identity of other traditional rulers and placing and elevating two traditional rulers, Uni of Ife and Sultan of Sokoto, who have no constitutional and historical basis over and above other traditional rulers, and they think that we will accept it. How is the Sultan of Sokoto the head of traditional rulers? Anywhere other than in Sokoto and the Emirates that are under Sokoto? Osman Dan Fodio led a jihad and overthrew the Hausa traditional institution and conquered others. There is no basis to declare war on another Muslim kingdom in the name of jihad, is not Islamic. Many Muslim places were overthrown until the British came. Some kingdoms were never conquered by the Sokoto Caliphate. They were never conquered. So, on what basis are they under the Sokoto Caliphate? We ask the question, on what basis? The Constitution clearly states that no citizen of Nigeria should be discriminated against on any account. Why should my right be taken and given to the Sultan of Sokoto, or Uni of Ife? On what basis, he queried. He further stated that he doesn't know Sultan of Sokoto and the Uni of Ife, it is Nigeria that brought us together, and we all know the age of our stool and the prominence of our stool, he declared. Please watch the video.
The National Assembly is going out of its way to trample on the Constitution, on the fundamental rights of the ethnic identity of other traditional rulers, and placing and elevating these two traditional rulers that have no constitutional and historical basis over and above other traditional rulers. And they think that we will accept it. Now let us come. Let us start with the Sultan of Sokoto. How is the Sultan of Sokoto the head of traditional rulers anywhere other than in Sokoto and the emirates that are under Sokoto? Usman Dan Fodio led the jihad and overthrew the Hausa traditional institution and conquered other. He said it's a jihad which has no Quranic basis. It has no Islamic basis. The people he overthrew, Rumfa and others, were Muslims. And it is not Islamic to declare a Muslim a kuffar. Either you are the kuffar, you who is calling the other person a kuffar, you are the kuffar. There is no basis to declare another Muslim a kuffar. But it happened. They were overthrown. This was in 1808. Until the British came. And there were kingdoms. There were in the north that were never conquered by caliphate. There were kingdoms that were never conquered by the Sokoto Caliphate. Borgu was not conquered. Boronu was not conquered. Arugugu was not conquered. Part of Junku land was not conquered. Tifi land was not conquered. We can go on and on and on and on and on. Yes, today, I don't know what happened. The chief of Borgu in Nigeria has accepted to join the caliphate. Even Suleja, Abuja, the Abuja Emirate that left Zauzau because of the Osman Dan Fodio raid and war of conquest that came to find the Emirate of Abuja, which is now Suleja, was not conquered. But out of convenience or whatever it is, following the flow, these people have done. I was in Brenning Kebbi when Jokolo, Emir Jokolo was installed as Emir. And I saw historical somersault. The people of Suleja, they said, I think it was Emir Hawal that was there, that Suleja, Borgu, Arugongo are part of, no, Suleja and Borgu are part of the empire of Muhammad Bello. I think they said it's the western arm of the Sokoto Caliphate of Muhammad Bello. And I looked at my historical records and I found out that there was no basis for this because these people were never conquered. They were never conquered. So on what basis? We ask the question, on what basis The Constitution clearly states that no citizen of Nigeria should be discriminated on no account, either by religion, by circumstances of his birth, by where he comes from. So why should my right be taken as Dabaya Makri and be given to the Sultan of Sokoto or the Oni of Ife? On what basis? I don't know them. It is Nigeria that brought us together, and we all know the age of our stool and the prominence of our stool. We all know the age of our stool and the prominence of our stool. This is arrant nonsense. Now, let us come. 1808, we have been existing. King Amakri, on whose second stool I sit today, Dabaya Makri the first, had a commemorative coin in 1788 in the United Kingdom. No foreigner had achieved that feat until maybe recently, I think, Nelson Mandela, that have had a commemorative currency, legal tender, in 1788. You can go and Google it, King Amakri. It's not today historical revisionism. People are coming to quote. No. He was the first African black man to own an ocean liner. Now, in Nigeria, they imposed the Sultan of Sokoto is the Amir Muslimin of Nigerian Muslim. How? Who made it? Where did the Majlis sit? Where did we sit to make the Sultan of Sokoto our Amir? Let the sleeping dog lie, as they say. A lot of people. When Goodluck was there, said he made the Sultan of Sokoto the permanent Amiru Hajj. I went to Goodluck is alive. Anybody can go and ask him. I went to him and said, Mr. President, sir, you are subordinating other Muslim to the Sultan of Sokoto. I am an Amakri. At that time, I never thought, I never even dreamed that I would become a Mayanabo. I told Goodluck, President Goodluck, that it was morally wrong that you are subjecting a Ijaw Muslim, I am an Ijaw Muslim, to the authority of another Muslim from another place, because you are all in Nigeria. That this is morally reprehensible, it is wrong, it is condemnable. He said, I see what you cannot see. It is when you sit on this chair that you know that there are certain things you have to let go. I am not ready to let go what my father has handed over to me. I can let go. I let go because I'm an individual. Alhaji Mujahid Dokuba Asari, yesterday, because I was an individual, I can let go. But today I cannot let go because I am not an individual. I am now Dabaya Makri, the Amainabo of the source, who presides over all the mysteries, the sacredness, and the totality of what Kalabari people represent. Even though not mistaken, there's an Amaina of Kalabari who is higher than me. But the realms of what Kalabari people stand for.
Izomo Kakadu has a different perspective on the federal government's National Council for Traditional Rulers in Nigeria. He said they are trying to make the Uni of Ife and the Sultan of Sokoto co-permanent chairman of this council. Not merely an appointment, but they are trying to pass it into law. This bill has passed second reading. How they did it, I don't know. Edo people are asking, where is our senator? I don't know how to explain it. But the first question you should ask yourself, you think your senators are not aware of this? If they are not aware of this, then that is a problem in the first place because they are in that Senate, so they have been involved in this, but somehow that bill has passed second reading, placing the Oba of Benin and many other revered monarchs under the Sultan of Sokoto and the Uni of Ife of yesterday, he stated. He further stated that he is not here to protest, but you see this system of government, I call it the British slave system of government. I don't believe in it, I have never believed in it. I don't know any president, I don't know any governor, I don't know any minister, I don't know anyone who was involved in this British system of government. The British, of course, you know, are not friends with the Edo Kingdom or the Benin Empire. So they seized power from us, they destroyed our monarchy, and gave power to their slave boys. Whereas they preserved theirs. Till today, it is still called the United Kingdom, and it is still a kingdom with an existing king there. But they destroyed yours and gave you a system of government that is not made for you, of course, it favors their slave people, their slave boys. Edo people, ask yourself, how has this government, since its installation, how has it favored you in any way? They reduced the status of our Oba under local government, he stated. He asked, what are the criteria by which they chose these two individuals, the Sultan of Sokoto and the Uni of Ife, to speak for every other monarch in the so-called Nigeria? We at Effo's blog absolutely agree with our brother Izomo Kakadu. Please watch the video.
I'm sure this is no longer news to many of you because I know that many of you must have seen this news article. And the summary of this news article is that the federal government of Nigeria has decided to create or form a National Council for Traditional Rulers. Yes. And now they are trying to make the Ooni of Ife, and the Sultan of Sokoto co-permanent chairmen of this council. And this is not by just mere appointment. They are trying to pass it into law. And from what I gathered, this bill has passed second reading. This bill has passed second reading. How it did, I don't know. And Edo people, some of you have been complaining, you're crying, and some are whining. How is this possible? Where are our senators? I don't know how to explain this to Edo people. I don't know how to educate most of you. So the first question you should ask yourself, you think your senators are not aware of this? If they are not aware of this, then that is a problem in the first place because they are senators. They are in that Senate. So they have been involved in this. But somehow that bill has passed second reading, placing the Oba of Benin and many other revered monarchs under the Sultan of Sokoto and the Ooni of Ife, Ile-Ife of yesterday. You're crying, whining about your senators. Now, personally, I'm not here to protest. I'm not here to protest, and the reason is obvious. I've always made my point clear. You see this system of government, I call it British slave system of government. I don't believe in it. I've never believed in it. I don't know any president, I don't know any governor, I don't know any minister. I don't know anyone who is involved in this British system of government. The British, of course, you know, are not friends. The British government is not friends with the Edo Kingdom or Benin Empire. So they seized power from us. They destroyed our monarchy and gave power to these their slave boys. Whereas they preserved theirs. Till today, it is still called United Kingdom. It is still a kingdom with an existing king. There is still a king there. But they destroyed yours and gave you a system of government that is not meant for you. Of course, it favors their slave people, their slave boys, those who are loyal to them, those who bow to them. But Edo people, ask yourself, how has this government, since installation, how has it favored you in any way? They reduced the position, the status of our Oba under local government. And you are here whining and screaming, complaining and protesting. You expected the Nigerian government to be fair to you, to do you well. Why do you think it was installed in the first place? Why do you think Benin Empire was destroyed in the first place? Why do you think power was taken from our monarch in the first place. I'm not here to protest. If he passed my Oba, I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody. So what I'm here to understand, however, is the criteria for which they are doing what they are doing. What are the criteria by which they chose these two individuals, the Sultan of Sokoto and the Ooni of Ife, to speak for every other monarch in the so-called Nigeria? Could it be because they are religious leaders or spiritual heads? I don't understand it. But if that is the criteria, then that means there are other religious leaders in the country. I know there is an association called, I think, Christian Association of Nigeria, and they have a leader. Why is the CAN president not chosen as part of the co-chairman, permanent chairman? That's a religious head. And I know the Islamic people, those Islam, they also have, or Muslim, they have a religious head. Because I know that Sultan of Sokoto is representing the Fulani. Sorry if I'm wrong, that is what I think I know. What happened to the national head of Osokbikan? Why are they not on that list? If it is based on being a religious or spiritual head. Now, this is a council for traditional rulers. Traditional rulers. I think that also means kings or monarchs. The Sultan of Sokoto, I don't know if I should call him monarch because I don't know much about him, but the Ooni of Ile-Ife, the Ooni of Ile-Ife of yesterday, is not a monarch. He has never been a king. I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, but this is fact. Unless you can debunk me, he is just a chief priest. He is the religious or spiritual head of a set of people within the so-called Nigeria. He is not a monarch. So if you are choosing these people based on being monarchs, they are not monarchs. So how does the Ooni of Ife or the Sultan of Sokoto speak for my Oba, the Oba of the great Benin Empire? Like I said, I am not protesting. I am not protesting because I have never expected anything better from this government. Because the government in the first place was instituted by our oppressors, by the British government, who are by no way friends of Benin Kingdom. So I wonder how my Edo people would ever think or imagine that the Nigerian government, the British installed Nigerian system of government, will favor them at any point. They seized power from our monarch and gave it to these people. See, this is just like a case of in your own house, in your own home, somebody barges into your house, comes in forcefully, takes power from your father, the head of the family, and gives it to maybe your cousin or a total stranger. And then you are now begging, if this your cousin or this person, whoever they give the power to, knows himself, he would give the power, hand the power back to the rightful owner, who is your father. But no, he has refused to. And now you are begging this your cousin who has been given the power, or this stranger, to please treat your father and you well. How else do you define stupidity? Edo people, una need to wake up. Una need to wake up. Una need to wake up. I know most of you will be like, it does not come. See, one day, your child is going to sleep. Your child will sleep as Omoege and wake up as Folonsho. If we don't act now, your child is going to sleep as an adult boy or girl and wake up in the morning as a Yoruba boy or girl. A time will come, you will be forced to change your name, to absorb into another cultural system that is not yours. Then you wouldn't have anything called Edo or Benin if we don't act now. Why so when you why we were or makan we no hanya Edo te we osipalo ewuye wo no manya uwa na ebi tawa ya wu kekeye wo no manya idobo ewero. This is not a protest. The Nigerian government can do whatever they want. This is what it was built to do. That is why I will never be surprised by any of this. This is what it was built to do. The Ooni of Ife, since it was created and installed, they have been trying to elevate the Ooni of Ife. In short, they have tried to even make him king by force. And now we are here. Not until Edo people, if you think first of all, Edo, if you think that you can survive, if you think you can win in this game, if you think you can survive somehow in this British slave system of government that Nigeria is running, you're very wrong. And not until we start agitating for the total restoration of our monarchy. It is not impossible. We need our independence. Nobody is saying anything about this. We are still trying to fit into a system that was not built for us. Not until we start agitating for the restoration of our monarchy. We want to be a nation, a country of our own. Edo will not have peace. Edo will not have peace for as long as they will last. Because looking at the events, looking at what is happening, in the next 100 years, we might not have what is called Edo. And if you don't know, you better know now. That is why some of us are fighting. That is why some who are here, Edo people who are here, and some in diaspora, they are fighting tooth and nail. They are ready to do anything because they know what is at stake. Saga. We need total restoration of Benin monarchy. This is for me. I don't know about you, because there is no way Edo or Benin Kingdom will survive in this British system of government that was created to destroy us. This is my position. Obedo Yaga talk by.
George Onibe began his presentation by educating his audience on the distinction between the Obi of Ndigbo and the Obi of Inca people, as both terms have different meanings in their respective languages. According to him, the proposed National Traditional Rulers Council is going to bring conflict to Nigeria. And secondly, the politicians are going to be dictating to traditional rulers. When the present Obi of Agbor was born, it was the Oba of Benin who came to his rescue. It was not publicized. The reason is that the kingdom of Agbor was once under the Benin Empire, but this does not mean the Oba of Benin controls the Obi of Agbor. The Sultan of Sokoto and the Uni of Ife are appointed by the government, hence, they cannot be the leaders because kings are born, not made. When the British came to Nigeria, they met Nana of Itsekiri, the Ada of Igala, and the Oba of Benin. These thrones will become subordinate to Hausa and Yoruba thrones, which is unacceptable. In ancient times, did the Uni of Ife have the prerogative to talk to the Oba of Benin? Do you think the Uni of Ife or the Sultan of Sokoto can issue an order to the Oba of Benin? But when we come to a level where you have a permanent chairman of all the kings, what are they chairing? They said they want to give traditional rulers roles. What kind of roles? Is it vigilante? He asked. He further stated that if these historical monarchs accepted these roles, they would be reduced to puppets. Because once the chairman has spoken, he has spoken. Uni of Ife can never be the Oba of Benin. Uni of Ife can never be the Obi of Agbor. Uni of Ife can never be a traditional ruler of other people. What we are saying here, they should not be the permanent chairman, he added. There is no need to mention Igbos because they don't have a king. Please watch the video.
I practically give the full name of the father of Obika Agbekuzie, the grandfather of Obika Agbekuzie, because Obika Gbenoba gave birth to Obikechukwu. Out of Catholicism of Samuel Ajayi Crowther. But Obikechukwu's son is bearing Agbo name, Kagbekuzi. And if you check the father of Gbenoba, it's not Igbo name. Because we sound similar doesn't make it the same. And I repeat again. Peter Obi, as in Obi of Peter, as in Obi of Kirirenke, it's not the same meaning with Obi of Eka people or Anyoma people. When we say Obi of Agbo, Obi of Umunede, Obi of Akomase, Obi of Utokbo, Obi of Utulupu. All these Obi and Peter Obi may be the same spelling. They may be the same vowel sound, but they have different meaning day and night. I repeat again. The Obi of a king originally is not Obi, but a corrupt version of the real name. But Obi, as in Peter Obi of Undi Igbo, mean Obi. They are not the same. So you ignorant people, when you see such name that sounds similar, stop fooling yourself. This is not the era of believing. We've passed that stage. This is the era of knowing. For instance, you have Ola in Yoruba language. You have Ola in Igbo language. And you have Ola in Bayelsa. Some Bayelsa community use Ola. The same spelling, the same vowel sound. But the difference between them is like day and night. They are not the same. And for instance, I have a friend from Bayelsa. He's late now. His name is Ola Joseph. It looks as if he's a Yoruba man, but he's a German. That Ola is a different meaning from Yoruba Ola or Igbo Ola. And so if I come out today, I say I am Ola Oluwa or Ola and remove the Oluwa, you will not know I am. You will be confused. Yoruba can claim me, Igbo can claim me, Bayelsa can claim me, or rather Ijo can claim me. But that does not make me to belong to any of them. Because the last time I checked, to the Igbo man, Ola means ring. And to the Yoruba man, Ola means tomorrow. And to the Bayelsa man, it's a different ball game. Why don't you deal with it, Igbo people? Now, why did I step up on this way? It's about the issue of the proposed constitutional bill on the floor of the Senate. Now we have finished treating, or we are still treating about the issue of a normal state creation. But all of them, we are studying this bill. Like I said in my yesterday broadcast, President Ahmed Bola Tinubu may not know what he's dabbling into. Whether he's innocent, whether he knows this conspiracy theory, whether he's part of this conspiracy or not, the truth is that by the time these stories are told, I'm sure history will not be fair with him if he let the short, these expansionists, to get the best of us. Posterity, in fact, those who created Nigeria has not started paying their price for creating Nigeria on a very faulty foundation. Some group of ethnic groups in Nigeria saying they are majority, living on the expense of the minority. And has that problem, have we not suffered enough from that problem? Can't we learn? Because that is what all this monarch issue is all about. I talked about the role, giving them political role. Are you turning them to partisans? Are they going to use us now to snatch ballot boss? What role do you want to give to them that they are not working in collaboration with the government already? But that is not the role they want to give them. The role they want to give to our monarch, which they are not telling you now, which they are not speaking out, is the role to control them. Because one of them is debating on who will be permanent chairman of monarchs. And if I were to paraphrase what they mean, that the king of Hausa people and the king of Yoruba people will be permanent chairman of the Council of Monarchs. Does it make? Are you getting it? Because they've not come out yet. That the king of Yoruba people and the king of Hausa people will become permanent chairman when it comes to the affair of monarchs. It looks beautiful to Yoruba and to Hausa, but the Igbo is not saying anything there. Because after all, Igbo Nwezi, they don't have king. They have nothing to lose. They have everything to gain. That is why Igbo is not crying over it. Because normally, if Igbo have king, they would have said the king of Yoruba, the king of Igbo, and the king of Hausa will become permanent chairman to the International National Congress Party, political party of monarchs. Why are you people doing this thing? Go back and ask King Charles. Or go back and ask the British monarch. Is that how they use their own monarchs? But we know the game. Not everybody has seen it. But you see, those of us who reason anti-clockwise, when we see, we will tell you, if you have the ability to comprehend, if you are sincere enough, if you care enough for the people, do the right thing. But to you, it looks normal. First of all, why are you people doing this thing? Let me try to bring it down. Those who invaded Africa never met any governor. They never met any president. They never met the name we are calling today. Oyibo people did not meet Igbo. They did not meet Yoruba. I give it to Hausa. They met Hausa people, but not as Hausa. Let's be realistic here. And they came and conjured all of us and concocted us and removed the original name. thereby misplacing the reconstituted authority as of that moment where Africa was invaded. And so all of us were unique in our own way. I am an Agbo man. I know my tradition. I know my king. My king may trace his lineage to Edo State, to the palace of the Oba of Benin. But after years of separation, we are not subjected to Edo people. But as it is said, his son remains his son, whether prodigal or not prodigal. You can't change it. And that is why when the last Obi or the current Obi of Agbo was born, who was the first to come to his rescue? It's the Oba of Benin. It was not publicized. They were not making noise. They made sure that that boy is protected, that that boy is brought up properly, that that boy understands the responsibility mounted on his shoulder. These are kingdoms under one empire. And we have not heard about the emir before they invaded us. Was there any emir? Because the last time I checked, with due respect, emirs are appointed. That is why some governors, some president, they messed up Lamido, Sanisu Lamido. Did they not retire him or even exile him, accuse him, talk rubbish? Because he was appointed. So the British did not meet emir. So how can emir that was made become a chairman of monarch? Kings are born, they are not made. Deal with it. And the last time I checked, they met the Ooni of Ife. I won't tell you lie. And so it's a constituted authority. We give it to them. And the last time I checked, they didn't meet king in Igbo land. That is why Samuel Ajayi Crowther concocted their history, manipulated them. Some of them think they are coming from Jerusalem. Who don't even know that there is a difference between Israel and Hebrew. Oh, the Israelites, children of Fundi, and the God. I don't blame them if they have had a custodian under the monarchy system. They will not be mesmerizing. I will not say my name is Obi. They say you are Igbo man. Whereas Obi is a different meaning in my own dialect from their dialect. It's a shame, but I'm coming. They met, like I said, people like Nana of Ishekiri. They didn't see Olu of Ishekiri. I have to tell you the truth. They met Obongo, Abi Obongo of Obongo. Pardon me if I don't pronounce it well. Obongo of Calabar. These thrones are there. The Oba of Benin are there. The Nana of Ishekiri is there. The Ato of Egala is there. The Ochidoma is there. And of course, I give it to Jaja of Opobo. He was there. And this throne will become subservient to Hausa and Yoruba throne. Was the Ooni of Ife actually commanding or has the prerogative to talk to the Oba of Benin? I'm not talking about this Oba of Benin. In the earliest history of our people, when there is a throne for the Ooni of Ife and when there is a throne for the Oba of Benin, do you think the Ooni of Ife can dictate for the Oba of Benin? May not forget all those history when they talk. And let us assume they are equal. Do you think any of them can issue order? As we speak today, the Oba of Benin will not even dictate for the Obi of Agbo because a lot have changed. And this is because they respect themselves. But when we come to a level now where you have a permanent chairman of all the kings, what are they chairman? My community or your community? I know you are not seeing it. I know you are not able to visage it because they say they want to give them role. What is that role? To become vigilante? What is that role they want to give to them that they have not been doing for the government? That is the question you must answer. But it is a rule they have not pronounced for you yet. The moment you take that bite, your life will not remain the same again. And I'm not trying to criticize the government. I'm not trying to condemn the Senate. I'm not trying to tell them what they're doing. I'm trying to tell the monarch, you will be reduced to a puppet. Because once the chairman has spoken, the chairman has spoken. Look at President Ahmed Bola Tinubu. He woke up one day and declared state of emergency. Today, Akwa Ibom man, Calabar man is in charge of Rivers State. It sounds okay. No riot, no problem. Of course, we don't call for that. But under normal circumstance, will Yoruba accept it? If it's Hausa man now that is in charge, only with the barrier of the gun will he make such decision. Will Yoruba accept it? Then they now take Igbo man to go on an emergency one Yoruba state. But we know why you people are doing this. Will Hausa accept Igbo man to go and manage one state in the north under state of emergency? Are there not warring state in the north that need state of emergency? Why is our president, our beloved Bola Ahmed Tinubu, not declaring state of emergency? Minority, when I say we be scam, we agree. But we are not saying or doing what we are doing because we hate anybody, we want to cause crisis. We are asking you to stop. All this hulo you people are initiating, it will boomerang. Mark my word. I made it clear yesterday that people may be pushing this agenda to Tinubu without him being able to see clearly the aftermath effect of his decision. That is why we are here, to make them see the consequences of their action, one way or the other. You will not bury the truth. You know, they will come and say, His Excellency, because of all this terrorism, because of all this criminality, let's do chairman of the council of which king? Which king is the chairman? The last time I checked, the North respect their emir, and we respect their emir. And there are things they do, we don't do. Our cultural tradition and value system is not the same. It's applicable to the Yorubas. And how? What are the bases? Where are they going to hold the meeting? You are calling a meeting for the cats and the bird and the fish. And they put the venue in the sky. Will the cat fly? Can the fish fly? You are calling a meeting for the birds, the cat and the fish. And the fish is the chairman. Can the bird swim? Can the cat swim? So invariably, any of this one now that you make a king, automatically will destroy the rest. Because if you ask the cat, come and hold the chairman, and the cat say, we are going to go to eat rat. The birds may not eat rat. The birds will not live like the cat. And so there is a problem. And if the fish is the chairman, both the bird and the cat cannot swim. So anytime it is time for swimming, the fish must demand that they swim. Is that not the influence, the body language of Nigerian politics? Is that not why we have not been sincere enough to tell ourselves the truth? And now to cut the long story short. It is said that they want to give constitutional rule to our monarch. But they did not tell you the nature of the constitutional rule. While we are rejoicing that they are proposing amendment bill for restructure, they have not told you the nature of the restructuring. Whether it is political restructure, whether it is regional restructure, whether it is economically restructure, they have not told you. But they go with it because it's a familiar language. The monarchs are doing well. Create a enabling ground for all of them to be able to work as one. Don't put a yoke on the neck of our king. Our king are not seeing it. But we know what you are trying to do. Because let me create a scenario. By the time finally the Senate say, yes, the bill, we have made it. King of Yoruba and King of Hausa will be permanent chairman. Anybody who does not play their tune, they will remove you from a king. They will say you are not a king. You are not the first. We have seen many kings that were dethroned by political party. In fact, they made the attempt on the Oba of Benin. They went to court, which is an insult in the first place. Until then, that should be a monobo radio walk. It should be the first, if I'm not mistaken. On the day of judgment, the king have to march to the court on barefoot. And that was when they know there is a problem. And so you will not be the first. Because somebody have to please somebody now. The discussion will not be based on mutual relationship or understanding. If somebody in government will tell you what to do to your people. And you see, when we start fighting our king, you don't have any kingdom nor throne. Go to Obiefe Zomo or our kingdom and watch the body language of what is going on there. If the people have their way, our kingdom will be torn apart. I've said it severally. I do not intend to waste too much time here, but rather to tell those who know the president, to tell him that those things is still trying to make minorities scam. Why did you not say that the Obi of Agbo, or the Oba of Benin, or the Oba Bang of Calabar? Why did you not say the Olu of Warri, for instance, they will be the permanent chairman? Can't minority be something relevant? Until there is problem, you people will not discover it. Nigeria started this way. Every election, we know, under democratic setting, that Hausa man is going to be the president, whether we like it or not. We know that, yes, Yoruba man will be the vice president, whether we like it or not. And finally, Igbo man must be the Senate president, whether we like it or not. Until there is a little political misunderstanding. That is when you now use minority. Akpabio is now there. Where is Okadibo? Where are those line of Igbo from one to another? Pious and impious. Where are all of them? Ike Kuremadu, where are all of them? Was there no other competent Senate president when they were lining up Igbo by Igbo by Igbo? We know the game. Don't bring it to our tradition. The monarchs are going on well. And I ask, which role do you people want to give them you have not given them before? Except there is a plot from the inside to destroy our monarch, which is the last defend outpost of any people who have one. And so those of you who are close to the monarchs, ask them to review it. Before now, Nigeria used to shift it from this one to this one. There was a time Obong was in charge as the chairman. And after his tenure, they moved. And sometimes they will be of Abo. And sometimes they gave to other ones. What happened to that rotation? What happened to that rotation? You are crying for rotational presidency. And yet you want to make a permanent chairmanistic. Who did deceive you here? It is just that I do not have enough words to explain what we are seeing in this very game. And believe me, they can pass this bill and everything move on fine. But when it will start, it will be too late to cry. Each time we look back and listen to people crying, let there be rotational presidency. They are not saying it because they want fairness. Rotational presidency is not about equity. It's not about justice. It's not about transparency. It's either they have been shortchanged, they want their position back. Or somewhere along the line, they want to upset the balance. They're not saying rotational presidency because it's going to go to every region. Today now, all of them are going to zone the next president of Nigeria to the south because now we be the Mugu. But which time they tell you rotational presidency, it's just about Wazobia. Hausa ton, Igbo ton, Yoruba ton. Then Hausa ton, Igbo ton, Yoruba ton. And when Igbo like, they can take with the minority under the umbrella to be. So that when Yoruba like, they take the minority under them to be. And when Hausa like, they take the minority under them to be. They use us to make up number, even when we are more qualified. Those monarchs and those making the law, talk to your monarchs. And I'm sure none of them will endorse this. And those of you making the law, ask yourself, to what essence? If you make Emir of Kano, King of Hausa people, to be the permanent chairman, will that improve Nigeria economic? Or I won't deceive who? You make King of Yoruba people permanent chairman of this monarch whatever. Will that stop corruption? Will they stop tribalism? But let's be honest. There is something they are trying to do. They will exhaust every avenue. And I'm sure they will not stop. In most cases, the sitting president is ignorant. Even the senator may not know what is going on. But I tell you people, or I advise you, those of you in politics, if you know what you are doing, it's not going to enhance, improve on the well-being of Nigerians, politically or otherwise. Why are you doing it? Why don't you consult? Why don't you ask wisdom? Why don't you leave your circle and go and view this masquerade from other corner? This is the same mistake Thomas Omonaku Yoronsi made. He grabbed power. He couldn't see beyond his nose. All he could think of how to dominate as Igbo man. He never knew counter Igbo coup was coming. He never knew anybody could assassinate him, brutally murdered him inside the Yoruba man house. But he did his done. He has posed the decrees on Nigeria. He claimed he did it with the knowledge of the Nigerian Supreme Military Council. And these people say they don't know. They were not properly informed. Let's assume he told some of his friends under the guise that they are the Supreme Military Council. From backyard door, they imposed the decree on us, squashing the region, destroying everything. Let us assume they had that conversation. Why did they not bring it up for public debate? Why did they not seek for the public opinion in that issue? Oh, he's a military man, sorry. And those people denied him. If it was obvious to Nigerians that that decree of Agu Yoronsi was actually the decision of the Supreme Military Council, I'm sure nobody will be calling Agu Yoronsi. But they said they're not fully informed. They are not aware. So maybe it was a phone conversation. Today, Agu Yoronsi is not a hero as far as my people are concerned. To those his work benefit is their hero. But what about we start building leaders who will be the hero of all of us? Because the last time I checked, nobody can fault Tafawa Balewa. Abubakar Tafawa Balewa. Nobody can fault him. No Yoruba person can fault him. No Igbo person can fault him. No Hausa person can fault him. What is exemplary leadership that was murdered? Why are people murdering through leadership? And so they will call the president. His Excellency, let's make Ooni of Ife. Maybe Ooni of Ife is the target because Yoruba man is there. And so Tinubu will be happy. Yes, it's good like that. Ooni of Ife can never be Obi of Abo. Deal with it. Ooni of Ife can never be Oba of Benin. Deal with it. Ooni of Ife can never be the Ombong of Calabar. Not Ochidoma. He will not be the Ato of Egala. He's the Ooni of Ife. Respect him. Reference him. But don't pass in here, because that is exactly what you people are doing. Like I said, I cannot explain this thing closely. But President, this bill, amendment, tax bill reformed, we know there is something deeper. And we are following up. Just like we started saying the issue of Anyoma, we have done our job. If you like, create Anyoma State and give it to the Southeast. If you like, create Anyoma and give it to the South-South. But any Anyoma created by Nnedi Nwoko, we know the game. And believe me, the people are waiting. But for the overall good of all Nigeria, we don't need Anyoma now that Nnedi Nwoko is involved. Next creation of state, we will come. Because the truth we know, nobody can convince us or tell us otherwise. There is nothing to review there. No permanent chairman. Do it rotation. If you are clamoring to rotate presidency, why not make permanent presidency? How will you stand if you say only Yoruba and Hausa will be permanent president because Igbo people have betrayed themselves by the Igbo Biafrans? How will it sound to you? That is exactly the same way it sounds. Not everybody will understand what this message is, but I just feel that area must be reviewed. Two major areas concern. Trying to create experiment ground in the name of creating state. It's uncalled for. It's unethical. And it is not acceptable. I pointed out to you. 3 major states you are creating. From the supposed minority, all of them, it's not for the interest of those people. Obono State in Akwa Ibom, interest of Igbo. Anyoma State in South, interest of Igbo. Another state from the same South, interest of Yoruba people. We know this truth. Stop it. But like I said, President Ahmed Bola Tinubu may not know. But those who play the game of chess, they understand that the queen is more powerful than the king, so they can mesmerize his mind. But all of you know this and have peace. Nigerians have outgrown this manipulation. Let us do the right thing for the sake of the next generation of our people. And what we want is a better nation for all of us. Even though we want to separate, we can discuss about it peacefully. We can reach a resolution. Igbo Biafra people have people representing them on the floor that have seen it. Why are they not pushing Igbo to leave Nigeria? So they talk it by the law because it was created by the same law or rules. And anything you want, why don't you go to that floor and talk about it? Only to change us, only to take our life, only to waiting the chains of our slavery and bondage in our own country. The problem, my message will sound as hate to you, is because you are not a minority. And it's unfortunate you don't know what it means to be a minority in a Nigeria that is our own. Just like those who do not have father, or those fathers who do not have children. The blessing of being a father, they can only imagine it. Try to imagine if you are a minority. All you political cabal from the north, from the west, and the east, you Wazobia. Put yourself in our place. Let's make you politically irrelevant. You will be the one glamoring for division of Nigeria. Why are you further destroying what's supposed to hold us together? You will not understand. The Senator Akpabio should review this thing because then they will call you. Then they will call you. Don't look at the game there and listen to Nnedi Nwoko trying to mesmerize the mind of some Anyoma people. He said because when we get Anyoma State, we will be more political participation of Biafra people. Anyoma State of Undibo, you will have political participation, not becoming even fourth class infidel in your own land. But to him, he was going to be the first governor of Anyoma State. Let him push it. Where is Denis Osadebe Mugu? Where is Denis Osadebe Mumurism? Where did he lead us to? Because he was just a mere tool in the hand of Nnamdi Azikiwe and his gang, the same way they used the Nahuru And when you know the truth, they call you a bad person. Unyamani he be money. I will stop there. At least I have dropped this message. It remains on the internet. Let him serve its purpose when the time comes. I'll go to the comment section and receive the insult. Because that is what Igbo Biafra people does. Just speak and it's Igbo language, it's Igbo language. Oh, imagine Igbo man become permanent chairman. Or don't you know those things you are making today will be reviewed? If Agun Yoronsi knew that his decree will eventually metamorphose into 1999 constitution through Abdul Salami Abubakar, I'm sure he would have thought otherwise. Kingdom rise and kingdom fall. Do not forget this truth. I greet you, Mercy. Good morning from here. And then the name is difficult to pronounce, but let's see what he said. He said Europe of today is still ruled by kings, i.e. England, Spain, Luxembourg, if I see that clearly, Sweden, and just to mention but a few. You are correct, dear. But what we are talking about, or what the point I'm trying to make, is trying to politicize the monarch. You see, the Queen of England or the King of England, for instance, has the power to remove the Prime Minister, has the power to dismiss the legislatures. I'm talking about the King of England now, King Charles. But he will not do this without consulting some of the political parties. And they are not partisans. They are just there for ceremony. Very powerful, but here they don't speak. Are you telling me the Oba of Benin can remove Tinubu from office? But reverse is the case, because Tinubu can remove the Oba of Benin as we speak. Even without this constitutional backup, he will remove it. And if Benin people protest, they will shoot them. Tinubu can remove the Obi of Agbo now. And so you see, there are two different ball games. We're asking them not to destroy our monarch further. I'm happy you brought out this. Go and verify. King Charles has the power to remove the Prime Minister, in this instance, the President. And somebody like Senator Akpabio and his members of the Senate, he will dissolve all of them. But then, the rule the king makes still say, consult those in the political party, give them your instance and flush all of them out if they don't want. And this is because they allow monarch to remain supreme. But this amendment bill regarding monarch now, they want to lower the relevance of monarchs. We'll see what will happen. Give it 10 years from now. Maybe everybody will begin to see what I'm saying. There was a time I was here on Facebook telling them about Igbo Biafra, that they are the obedient movement. Many of you ignorantly were jumping obedient. Today you know the truth. Come and join coalition. If you are not part of the deal or conspiracy, you are not part. I told them that these people, they are the unity beggar. The unity beggar people are Biafra agitation in disguise. Most of you insulted me. Today, are you not getting the result? I told you they were out there to instigate every ethnic group in the South against each other. They said, don't mind him because they sack him. Then they sack me for work where they no employ me. Imagine. That is why he's saying what he's saying. What about today? All my life, without Igbo Biafra, no Asian man will insult Benin man. Neither will Benin man insult Asian man. Did they not make it happen? If you did not continue to listen and pay attention to what they are doing, by now, maybe I will be fighting Benin, Benin will be fighting me. And they will be behind, clapping and be fanning it. Go and look at my post. There is one Akpan there. It's Igbo man answering Akwa Ibom name to insult me. So when I come as Akwa Ibom people, now, mumu. But I know it's not Akwa Ibom because I know how they function. Igbo man. If you like make you answer my papa name, I know our values. By their fruit, you shall know them. There is no Skalewa ethnic group in Nigeria. Up to those Skalewa call themselves Igbo Biafra. I see good luck here. Good morning, good luck. I see Ukwa and the tribe. You say good morning, my brother George, the mouthpiece of Old Miss Wedan region. I greet you. One name, Mado. Dere. Ajay. I see. Okay. No insulting people of Funa and the Kano yet. I see. It says Oba of Benin is more than Oba. Is more than Oba. He is the father of the Benin people. Correct. And now they are going to give him a permanent father. They want to give him a permanent father. But we are not getting the body language. We are not seeing what is inside there. It is only when the law has been enacted and everybody will see the truth, and then it is too late to cry. And then he said every king should Every king should be recognized. That is what we are saying. No permanent chairman. No permanent chairman. Nothing like permanent chairman. Sultan is a religious position, not African tradition. So these are the areas we are trying to point out to. Igbo Biafra people have not come because it doesn't concern them. They don't have king. Don't let them to destroy the last defense outpost. Ooni of Ife is a traditional man. But like as somebody just said here, the emir is more of a religious leader. And my king, they are all traditionalists. So how do you blend it from my explanation? How can you ask a flying animal, a swimming animal, and a running animal, one to lead one? The fish will never come out of the water, and so the rest must drown. That is the end of this monarch coalition. Maybe they are not seeing the end of it. Bat today is not a bad animal. Bat today has been called a different name. Bat today is confused. It neither belongs to the day nor the night. It's neither a bird nor the rat. It is because of all this manipulation of nature. Let's review the Tax Reform Amendment Bill. And maybe Nigeria will be able to grow more healthier than anticipated. This is my broadcast. Of course, Igbo Biafra will come in later on and drop their insult. And we will respond to them. In fact, it is their insult that I make my broadcast. So drop it. Let me teach you your history. Have a nice day. I remain George Onyibe, and I sign off from here.